Good evening, Strat-O-Maticers. Welcome to the Game 4 replay of the 1977 World Series between the Los Angeles Dodgers and the New York Yankees. My name is Keith. I am your host for this evening's game. Dodgers lead 2-1 in this best-of-7 series, having gained the upper hand in games 2 and 3. New York took game 1 of the series 4-1 behind the pitching of Don Gillette. Gillette was the Yankees' winning pitcher that evening. Don Sutton, the loss. Game 2 found the Dodgers coming back, winning that game 10-5. Bert Hooton was the Dodgers' pitcher of record for the win in that game. Catfish Hunter took the loss for the Yankees. And then Game 3 was a 6-4 win by the Los Angeles Dodgers at Dodger Stadium. Quite an exciting game, actually. The Yankees had an opportunity to take the lead in the top of the ninth, however, were unable to convert, stranding 2 men on base with the winning run at the plate. Tommy John was the winning pitcher for the Dodgers in Game 3, and Mike Torres took the loss for the Yankees. So in tonight's matchup, we have the left-handed pitching Ron Guidry for the Yankees versus the left-handed pitcher Doug Rauch for the Dodgers. We'll get into introductions of the starting pitchers and the team lineups next. First, this game's coming to you from Dodger Stadium. This is a super advanced rule game. We will be using ballpark effects as well. Historical rosters and lineups are being used. These are found on baseballreference.com. Today's game had a paid attendance of 55,995, again at Dodger Stadium. Took place on October 15th, 1977. This was a day game. The previous 3 games had all been played at night, and it was on grass. The length of time of the game was only 2 hours and 7 minutes, so it was a quick game. The ballpark effects for Dodger Stadium for both left and right-handed hitters are a 1 through 2 will be a single. A 3 or greater will be a line out to the respective shortstop or second baseman. And our home run rolls that will be needed for a ballpark effect home run from both sides of the plate will be a 1 through 11. Otherwise, it'll be a fly out to the respective outfielder for that side of the plate. So those are your ballpark effects for this game. Your starting pitchers, as mentioned earlier, for the New York Yankees, it will be the left-handed pitcher Ron Guidry. Guidry has an endurance rating of 8. He has a fielding rating, an error rating of 3 and a 7. He will be using the number 1 pitching card. He is a weak hitter, and he's batting from the left side. A balk rating of 0, wild pitch of 6 or less, and then his hold rating is a -2. The designated hitter will not be used in this game, as in the 77 World Series it was an odd numbered year, so during that time designated hitters were only used in even number years of the series, so bunting could come into play for both starting pitchers. Guidry is a C level bunter. So that's the introduction to the Yankees pitcher Ron Guidry. For the Dodgers, left-handed pitcher Doug Rauch will be taking the mound. Rauch has an endurance rating of 6. He has a fielding rating of 4, an error rating of 0. He has a balk rating of 2 and a wild pitch rating of 2. And he will be using the number 2 batting card. He also is a weak hitter, and he will be batting from the left side as well. Rauch's hold rating is 0, and he has a bunting rating of B. So those are your 2 starting pitchers for this evening. First time in the series, either pitcher has taken the mound for their team. Lineups for today's game. Yankees are using a very similar lineup to what they've used over the previous 3 games. Mickey Rivers, left-handed hitter, will be leading off, playing center field. He has a 3 and a 9 defensive rating. The right-hander Willie Randolph, an all-star game representative in 77, will be batting second at second base. He's a 2 and an 18 from a fielding standpoint. The captain, Thurman Munson, a reserve all-star in 77, will be batting third. He hits from the right side of the plate. He does have a -1 arm on throwing attempts to get runners out at second. He's a 2 and a 4 fielding and error rating. He does have a pass ball number of 3, and his throwing error rating is 1 through 9. Mr. October, Reggie Jackson, bats fourth, 77 All-Star representative. He does hit from the left side. His arm strength is a -3. He'll be playing right field, and he has a 4 and an 18 fielding and error rating. Sweet Lou Piniella, batting fifth, will be playing left field. Piniella bats from the right side and has a +1 arm rating. He also has a 3 and a 7 for fielding and error rating. Chris Chambliss, the Yankees first baseman, had a little bit of an error problem in the previous game. He will be batting sixth. He hits from the left side, and he has a 317 defensive rating. The third baseman, All-Star and Gold Glove winner in 77, Greg Nettles, batting from the left side, is a 1 and a 13 defensive rating, playing third. And then Bucky Dent, the Yankee shortstop, will be batting eighth from the right side of the plate. And then Ron Guidry again is on the mound, batting from the left side, pitching for the New York Yankees. So that's your Game 4 77 World Series Yankees lineup. Moving over to the Dodgers. Dodgers will have Davey Lopes leading off for the 4th time in the series. Lopes plays second base, has a 3 and a 19 fielding error rating. He does hit from the right side. Shortstop Bill Russell will follow Lopes in the number 2 spot. He hits from the right side and has a 252 fielding and error rating. All-Star representative in 77, Reggie Smith, switch hitter. He'll be batting from the right side in today's game. Is a -3 arm, and he has a 3 and a 6 rating. I misspoke. Smith will be playing in center field for this afternoon's game. He had played in right field the previous 3 games. Ron Cey, the Dodgers third baseman, All-Star representative, swinging from the right side of the plate, 2 and a 20 error and fielding rating. Gold Glove and All-Star member Steve Garvey, batting from the right side, playing first base with the extremely solid 1.8 fielding and error rating. Batting sixth, the left fielder and Gold Glove recipient in 77, the right-hander Dusty Baker, 3 and a 3 fielding and error rating. Batting seventh is Lee Lacy, making his first World Series appearance. He will be playing right field. His arm rating is a -2, and he will be batting from the right side of the plate. 4 and 11 are his fielding and error ratings. Catcher Steve Yeager will be Rao's battery mate for this game. Yeager had a 1.8 fielding and error rating. He does hit from the right side with a -3 arm, and his pass ball rating is 2, but as effective as he is defensively, he too is as erratic with his arm. He will have an errant throw to second base on a 1 through 18. And then lastly, batting in the 9th spot is the pitcher Doug Rao, swinging from the left side of the plate, utilizing the number 2 pitching card. And Rao is a 4 and a 0 defensively. So those are your lineups for Game 4 of the 77 World Series. Again, the Los Angeles Dodgers have a 2-1 lead over the New York Yankees. Alright, let's get this game started. So we have the left-handed pitcher Doug Rao against the leadoff hitter for the Yankees, Mickey Rivers. Lefty on lefty matchup. Rivers so far in the series is 5 for 14 with a home run. And the pitch from Rao to Rivers, and that is a 1 and a 7 against the left-handed pitcher, is a single. So Rivers reaches first on a single. Right-handed hitting second baseman Willie Randolph is up next. Randolph has had a bit of a slow series thus far. He's 2 for 13. Looking at the Rao-Yeager pitcher-catcher combination against stolen bases, we'd be looking at a hold rating of 0 from Rao with a -3 for Steve Yeager for his arm. So at a minimum, we'd have a negative modifier of -3. Rivers achieves a good lead on a roll of 3 through 8. He could be caught stealing on an 11 or picked off at first on an 11. So if he does manage a good lead at the very best, he would be looking at a 50% chance steal rate with a total modifier of -5, -3 for the pitcher catcher modifier, and then an additional -2 for the good lead. So I'm going to keep Rivers in place. At first, we will not try to steal with him, but he will be held on base. All right. So a runner being held on first with the right-handed batter, so the first baseman and second baseman are holding Rivers on first. So that being said, the pitch to Randolph is a 2 and an 11 against the left-handed pitcher. And that's a ground ball, first base C. All right. So a ground ball, first base C. The runner on first is a 3. Batter out, runners advance 1 base. All right. So Rivers will go to second. And Randolph is retired. We'll call that a unassisted put out by Garvey. So 1 down. Rivers is now in scoring position. One thing I wanted to mention though is that with corners in, holding runners, it gets a little confusing sometimes with super advanced rules and how hits to infielders might make a difference. So I'm just looking this up here. All right, so it looks like you convert ground ball to single. That was not the case. So if we would have had a error opportunity on the ball to Garvey, we would have shifted his fielding rating over 1 column from a 1 to a 2 to look at the impact of him trying to hold the runner at first and then having a ground ball hit to him. So that's how that would have played out should we have had an error opportunity or having to use a super advanced fielding chart. So a little confusing there. It's easy to forget some of these rules or not apply them correctly when they happen. So that is what would have happened. Also, there was an opportunity to get to a single, blah blah blah, those types of things, but it didn't happen. So sorry for digressing there. So Thurman Munson's at the plate. We've got a runner in scoring position, 1 out. Rivers will be held at second base by the second baseman, Davey Lopes. And the pitch is a 2 and a 4 against the left-handed pitcher is a ground ball, pitcher B. So a ground ball, pitcher B with the runner on second is a 6. If hit to first base, second base, batter out. Runner advances 1 base, otherwise batter is out and runners hold. Runners are going to hold at second base. We have 2 down for the left-handed hitting Reggie Jackson. Infield's back. So that is a 2 and a 5. Against the left-handed pitcher is a home run, ballpark effect. So a home run for a left-handed batter is the same as a righty. 1 through 11, Mr. October gets the Yankees off to a 2-0 lead. And that is a 15. So that is a fly ball to right field. So F9. The ball's caught on the warning track by Lee Lacy. And just like that, the Yankees are out of the first. They do, though, advance a runner to scoring position, but are unable to bring him home. It's kind of the story of the series for the Yankees. Just not getting the roles I need to at the right times to take advantage of the situation for the Yankee players. That happens. It can change on a dime too. So after the top of the first, 1 hit, no runs, no errors, 1 man left on base. It's the Yankees 0 and the Dodgers 0. Ron Guidry, Davey Lopes. The lefty-righty matchup. Lopes so far in the series is 2 for 12. Overall, the Dodgers as a team are not hitting as well as the Yankees. They're just taking better advantage of the opportunities as they provide them. So they're being out hit though by the Yankees. So that's a 6 and 11 against a left-handed on a left-handed pitcher's card against a right-handed pitcher. Has a ground ball, shortstop A. So that's a 6-3 dent to Chambliss put out. Bo Russell, the right-handed hitting shortstop, is up next. Russell is 3 for 12 in the series. That's a 1 and a 6 against the left-handed pitcher. There's a home run, 1-5. Fly out to left field, 6 through 20. That's a fly out to left field. Second out of the inning recorded. Switch hitting Reggie Smith, hitting from the right side of the plate. That's a 1 and a 7. Against left-handed pitching is a fly ball to center field. So Guidry's off to a good start, sending the Dodgers down 1-2-3 in the bottom of the first. After 1, it's Yankees 0, Dodgers 0. Top of the second inning, Yankees are up once again. Right-handed hitting left fielder Lou Piniella is at the plate. Piniella is 5 for 12 so far in the series with a triple. Looks to get the lead runner on base here. We have a roll of a 4 and a 5 against a right-handed batter. 4 and a 5 is a fly out to left field. So Piniella is up and out in the top of the second for the first Yankees out. First baseman Chris Chambliss is up next. Chambliss is 3 for 10 so far in the series. Lefty-lefty matchup. That's a 5 and a 7. Ground ball, second base X. So ball's hit to Davey Lopes. Lopes has a 3 fielding rating, a 19 error rating. And that is a 12 and a 12. So a 12 and 12. 3 range. 12 is a G2. And a 19 on a second baseman, and a 12 is a blank. So that is a ground out 4-3. So Chambliss is retired second out of the inning on the Lopes-Garvey hookup. Brings up the third baseman Greg Nettles. Nettles is 1 for 10 in the series. I think when you look at this Yankees lineup, it's really the 7th, 8th, and 9th batters that have really brought this lineup to a stop. Just no production at all. Overall, the third baseman Nettles and Dent are 1 for 21 so far in the series. So I think if the Yankees are going to turn this around at all, we need to start getting more production out of the latter part of this Yankee lineup. So route to Nettles. That's a 3 and an 11 against the left-handed pitcher. 3 and 11 is a ground ball first base. We're going to score that 3-1 for the third out of the inning. So Yankees go down 3 up, 3 down. The top of the second. After 1.5, it's the Yankees 0 and Dodgers 0. Third baseman Ron Cey is going to lead it off for the Dodgers. Cey is 2 for 13 with a home run so far in the series. Cey was also an All-Star in 1977 as well. So that is a 4 and a 5 against a right-handed batter. A 4 and a 5 is a pop out to the third baseman. So 1 down here in the bottom of the second. First baseman Steve Garvey, 2 for 11 in the series with 2 home runs. Had a heck of an impact in the last game that was played. That's a 4 and a 7 against a right-handed batter is a strikeout. So Guidry has command of his pitches so far in this game. Baker's up. Left fielder is 2 for 9 with the home run so far in the series. That is a 2 and a 10 against a left-handed pitcher. Ballpark effect home run. Possibility. 1 through 11 is needed for a home run. Otherwise it'll be a fly ball out to right field. And that is a home run. So Baker gets his second home run of the series to give the Dodgers a 1-0 lead. Just like that, the Dodgers have the lead. Lee Lacy. Lacy has not played in any games thus far. His first at bat of the series. Lacy's playing right field. That is a 4 and a 5 against a right-handed batter is a pop out to third base. So the Dodgers are able to get on the board with the solo home run by Dusty Baker. At the end of 2, it's the Dodgers 1. Dodgers took the lead in the bottom of the second with a solo shot by Dusty Baker. LA's ahead 1-0. Bucky Dent's at the plate for the Yankees. Notice I didn't flip my pitcher cards. Doug Rao continues to work for the Dodgers. We've got Bucky Dent at the plate, a lefty-righty matchup. That is a 1 and a 5 against the left-handed pitcher. 1 and a 5 is a walk. So Dent is aboard with the leadoff walk. First walk issued today by Rao. You have the pitcher Ron Guidry up next. He is using the one pitcher card. I'm going to try to sacrifice Guidry at bat to move Dent over to second base. Corners will be in. This will be a sacrifice bunt attempt. Guidry has a C level bunt letter for his attempt. So corners are in, so that moves us from a C to a D. And a roll. That is a 5, so the sacrifice bunt is hit to the first baseman. And a 2 on a D is speed. So the speed description states, batter lays down a great bunt and he has a chance to beat it out for a single. Roll the 20-sided die, and if it falls within the running range score, it is scored as a single. Runners advance one base. If the split falls outside his running speed range, scored as a sack. Runners advance one base. So an awesome roll by Guidry. Guidry's running is a 1 through 10, and that is a 19. So Guidry does sacrifice his at-bat for the first out of the inning, and Dent is able to get to second base. Yankees have a runner in scoring position. How cool would that have been if Guidry would have been able to be safe at first? That would have been awesome. Alright, we've got the left-handed hitting Mickey Rivers up. Dent is on second. He will be held on second base by the shortstop, Bill Russell. And the roll is a 5 and a 10 against the left-handed batter. That is a ground ball, shortstop X. So as I mentioned earlier in the video, the ground ball shortstop X hit to a player holding the runner results in the fielding rating moving over one number. So Russell has a 2 fielding rating. He'll actually be a 3 because the ball was hit to him as he was holding the runner. So he goes from a 2 to a 3 on the range rating. So I'm going to roll on the super advanced fielding charts. Here we go. That is a 5 and a 14. So a 5 is a G3 hashtag, and a 14 is a no effect. However, the hashtag is going to come into play here. This might be a perfect example of how the infield holding the runner plays into creating a defensive mishap by the defensive team. So we convert fielding chart hashtag readings to single, 2 asterisks if the fielder is holding the runner. Alright, so rather than getting an out, it turns into a single. And Dent scores from second off of the change to the super advanced fielding result due to the hashtag being on that G3. So again, what we had happen, 2 things. Shortstop Bill Russell was holding Dent at second. Because he was holding the runner at second, the ball was hit to him. On the super advanced fielding chart, his fielding rating goes from a 2 to a 3, and then my roll on the fielding chart resulted in a G3 hashtag. Rather than it being an out, the hashtag means that the base runner, or the batter, is now on base with a single, 2 asterisks because Dent was penalized for holding the runner as he attempted to field that ball. So the ball scooted past scooted past Russell, and Dent was able to make it Rivers was able to make it to first base, allowing Dent to score. So a little bit of a word salad there for me. I apologize, but I'm hoping that everybody gets the gist of what just happened. So Dent is across the plate for the Yankees' first run, and the sacrifice by Garvey pays off. All right. Score that as RBI for Rivers. All right. Second baseman Willie Randolph is up next. Rivers will be held at first. So that means the second baseman and first baseman are holding Rivers. And that is a 2. So we get a random event. 1 through 3, it's a potential balk. 4 through 6, a pass ball. So we have a potential balk. Raul rolls a 2 or a less for a balk. That's a 20. That does not happen, so we re-roll the 3 dice. That's a 6 and a 7. 6 and a 7 against a right-handed batter is a strikeout. Randolph strikes out. 2 down now for the Yankees. We have the right-handed hitting Munson up. Rivers continues to be held at first. Actually, they're going to play infield back. Rivers will not be held. Roll is a 1 and a 10 against the left-handed pitcher as they pop out to second base. So the Yankees were able to get 1 back, and the score is tied 1-1 after 2.5. Scores tied 1-1. And hitting catcher Steve Yeager's at the plate. Yeager is 2-11 so far in the series. It's a 4 and a 7. A 4 and a 7 against a right-handed batter is a strikeout. So first strikeout recorded for Guidry. We have the pitcher Doug Rao up next. He uses the number 2 hitting card. He is going to swing away. That is a 6 and a 12 against a left-handed batter. That's a fly ball left field X. So the ball is hit to Piniella. Piniella is a 3 and a 7. So that is a 5 and a 12. that is an SI2, a 7, and a 12 is a blank. So the SI2 result reads, single, runners advance 2 bases. So Rao is able to get on base with a single. 1 down for the Dodgers. Rao will not be held at first. Infield is playing back, hoping for a double play. Lopes is at the plate. Lopes is 0 for 1 today. He grounded out 6-3 in the first. So we do have a potential random event. Potential pass ball. Munson's rating is 3 or less on pass ball opportunities. Huh, look at that. Munson's got a 1, so a pass ball occurs. So Rao goes to second base. Alright, so runners in scoring position now. For the right-handed hitting Davey Lopes, Rao is not being held at second. That is a 7 and okay, a 3 and a 6. 3 and a 6 against a left-handed pitcher results in a single to left field. So Rao goes to third. Lopes goes to first. Shortstop Bill Russell is up next. All right, so we've got a pretty decent runner at first in Lopes. I'm going to roll for a good lead. I'm going to try to steal with Lopes, get him over to second base, put him in scoring position. So that is a 6. So a 6 falls within Lopes' good lead range, so he has a good lead. So his base chance is a 19. We have a -2 for Guidry in his hold rating, and Munson's arm is a -1, so the pitcher-catcher modifier is a -3. We subtract another 2 for the good lead modifier, so that would be a total of -5. So Lopes would have a successful stolen base on a 14 or less. So that is a successful stolen base. However, it does fall within Thurman Munson's chance to throw the ball away. So on a roll of 1 through 9, Munson commits a throwing error, and Lopes will advance an extra base. Rao will also score, and that is a 1. So the Yankees' misfortunes continue. A stolen base attempt by Lopes results in Rao scoring from third, and Lopes successfully stealing second and advancing to third on the overthrow by Munson. So just like that, the Dodgers have a 2-1 lead with one more run 90 feet away. So Bill Russell is up. We have 1 down, 1 run is in. Lopes at third. Infield will be playing back. And that is a 6 and a 5 against a right-handed batter. 6 and a 5 is a home run. 1 through 2, fly ball to left field, 3 through 20. That's a fly ball to left field. All right. Let me score that in F7. That's our second out. And that would be a 6 and a 5. Fly out, left field B. Runner on third will score. So Lopes will score. So that's a sacrifice fly for Russell. And there's 2 runs for the Dodgers in this inning. Reggie Smith will be at the plate with 2 outs. That's a 6 and a 12 against a right-handed hitting Smith. Fly ball, left field X. Second time we've had that result this inning. Ball's hit to Piniella. It was a 3 and a 7. So a 16 will result in an F2. And a 7 has a roll of 11. And that is no error. So that is a fly ball out to Piniella to end the inning. So the Dodgers are able to score 2 at the end of 3. It is 3-1 Dodgers. Top of the 4th, Dodgers are leading 3-1. Scoring update, the official scorer did record Munson's overthrow at second on the low stolen base attempt and error, charged the catcher. So E2 for Munson for those of you keeping score at home. Alright, Yankees looking to mount a comeback here. Reggie Jackson leads off for the Bronx Bombers. The roll, a 3 and a 9 against a left-handed pitcher, results in a Reggie Jackson strikeout. So Jackson really got off to a hot start in this series. Overall, he's 6 for 13 with 2 home runs, but the last 2 games he's cooled down quite a bit. Piniella's at the plate. That's a 1 and a 12 against a left-handed pitcher. It's a ground ball, shortstop A. That's a ground out, Russell to Garvey for the second out. Left-handed hitting Chris Chambliss, Yankees first baseman, tries to keep the inning going for the Yanks. It's a 6 and a 5 against a left-handed batter. Is a home run 1-2, a double 3-20 if Chambliss has an end power rating, and he indeed does. So we'll have a home run opportunity for Chambliss on a roll of a 1 or a 2. Otherwise, it's a double. So Chambliss, with 2 outs, is able to hit a double. So Chambliss is aboard with 2 outs. Gold Glove third baseman Greg Nettles is up next. Nettles is going to swing away. Infield will be playing back, hoping to get that 3rd out of the inning. And pitch. There's a 1 and a 6 against a left-handed pitcher on both of those. So that's a 5. So Nettles is aboard with a 2-out single. Chambliss will score. And the Yankees have cut the lead to 3-2. So Nettles gets a hit and an RBI. Chambliss scores. And the shortstop, Bucky Dent, is up. So looking at Nettles' stealing ratings here, going to keep him at first base. He's got a 4 or a 5 needed for a good lead, and then he does have the potential for an out picked off on a 9-12. So he's going to stay put. The Dodgers are going to play back, however, to try to get that last out of the inning. So Dent is up, 2 down. And that is a 6 and a 7 against a right-handed batter, and that is a strikeout. So Rao is able to bear down and get that 3rd out of the inning by strikeout. Ron Sale will be at the plate for the Dodgers. Guidry's allowed 2 hits, along with the 3 runs, and has 1 strikeout. 2 of those runs are earned. So here's the pitch from Guidry. That's a 5 and a 6 against a right-handed batter, and that is a strikeout. So one down for the Dodgers in the bottom of the fourth. Steve Garvey is up next with Dusty Baker on deck. Pitch to Garvey is a 6 and an 11. It's a ground ball, shortstop A. So Dent to Chambliss for the second out. Guidry really hoping for a 1-2-3 inning here. Dusty Baker, who's solo in the second inning, is up next. It's a 6 and an 8. Against a right-handed batter is a strikeout. So Guidry is able to record 2 strikeouts against the side, and the Dodgers go down 1-2-3 in the bottom of the fourth. Top of the fifth inning, left-handed pitcher Ron Guidry is at the plate. Guidry bats from the left side. A roll of 4 and a 7 against the left-handed batter results in a single. So Guidry is aboard. Top of the order with Mickey Rivers. Rivers so far on today is 2 for 2. For the series, he's 7 for 16 with a home run. So nice series so far for Rivers. The infield is going to play back. Guidry is not held at first. On the pitch, that's a 6 and a 6 against a left-handed batter. 6 and a 6 is a double or a single. 1 through 10 is a double, and that's a 13, so it results in a single with 2 stars. So Guidry moves over to third. Rivers hits a single and is on first base. So no outs. The Yankees get their first 2 batteries of the inning on board, and we have the right-handed hitting Willie Randolph up next. Runners will not attempt, Rivers will not attempt to steal. However, he will be held on first, and that will be the second baseman and first baseman that hold Rivers on. And the pitch is a 2 and a 10 against the left-handed pitcher is a ground ball, second base C. So I'm just going to consult the strategy chart real quick. So I'm just looking up here, holding of runners. So we don't have anything there. All right, so that's a ground ball, second base C. Our result is with runners on first and third, a 3, a batter is out, runners advance 1 base. So Randolph grounds out 4-3 for the first out of the inning. Guidry scores from third, and Rivers moves to second base. So just like that, the Yankees have tied the game 3-3 for the Willie Randolph ground out. So Randolph will pick up an RBI on that. Guidry scores. Third run of the game issued, third earned run. And we have the right-handed hitting Thurman Munson up with Mickey Rivers at second base. Rivers will be held. He's going to be held by the second baseman Davey Lopes. And the pitch is a 1 and a 5. A 1 and a 5 against the left-handed pitcher is a ground ball, pitcher B. So we have a runner on second. So if it's hit to first base or second base, batter out, runners advance 1 base. Otherwise, batter is out, runner holds. So Munson is out. That's scored a 1-3. and Rivers remains at second base. Left-handed hitting Reggie Jackson is up. Jackson has had a slow start to today's game. He has a strikeout in the 4th inning and a flyout to the right fielder in the 1st. So 2 down. Rivers is not being held. And the roll, that's a 5 and an 8. Against the left-handed batter is a ground ball, second base A. So that's a ground out 4-3. So the Yankees are able to get the tying run across the plate, and at the end of 4.5, it's the Dodgers 3 and the Yankees 3. Rivers, Randolph, Munson, Jackson. So the Yankees are proving to be scrappy in Game 4. I don't want to let this one get away from them before they can get back to New York City. Alright, so bottom of the 5th, we have the last 3 batters of the Dodgers order. Lee Lacy, Steve Yeager, and the pitcher Doug Rao. Pitch to Lacy, that's a 6 and 11. Against a right-handed batter is a ground ball, shortstop A. So that's a ground out 6-3 for the first out of the inning. Catcher Steve Yeager is up next. Yeager struck out in the 2nd. Looking to get on base here. That's a 5 and a 4 against a right-handed batter. 5 and a 4 is a catcher X. So a play on the Yankees catcher Thurman Munson. He is a 2-4. So rolling the dice for the result on the super advanced fielding chart. That's a 10 and a 6. Results in a P/F, and a 4 and a 6 is no error. So a P/F. So with runners on base, pitch gets past the catcher for a pass ball. We are using the Bach wild pitch pass ball rule. However, there is nobody on base. So if a pass ball does not occur, the batter hits a foul out to the catcher. So F2, there's 2 down. Dodgers pitcher Doug Rao is up next using the number 2 hitting card. The roll is a 3 and a 9. 3 and a 9 is a ground ball, first base A. So that's a 3 unassisted for the 3rd out of the inning. And the Dodgers go down 1-2-3 in the bottom of the 5th. So at the end of 5, it's the Dodgers 3 and Yankees 3. So we are set to begin the top half of the 6th inning. Lou Piniella, the Yankees left fielder, is at the plate. Piniella on the day is 0 for 2, fly out to left field in the 2nd, and a ground out 6-3 in the 4th. The pitch to Piniella, it's a 4 and a 3. Against a right-handed batter is a fly ball, right field X. That ball is hit to Lee Lacy. Lacy is a 4 and an 11. Roll our dice for the super advanced fielding chart. That is a 3 and a 5 and an 11. So 3 and an 11. That's going to be a DO2, and then 11 and an 11 is no effect. So that's a DO2. So double, runners advance 2 bases. So just like that, Piniella's on second with a stand-up double. So between innings, Lasorda got his bullpen activated. Mike Garman, right-handed pitcher, and Al Downing, left-handed pitcher, are warming up in the pen. So they should be ready to go after Chambliss here should Lasorda need to make a pitching change. So we have a runner on second, no outs. Chris Chambliss is up. Chambliss is 1 for 2 with a double in the fourth. Piniella will be held. He'll be held by the shortstop, Bill Russell. And the pitch is a 5 and a 6 and a 6 against the left-handed batter. Results in a double 1 through 10 or a single 11 through 20. And that is a 4. So Chambliss picks up his second double of the game, knocks in Piniella, and the Yankees have a 4-3 lead. So it looks like Lasorda is looking down at his bullpen. Might expect Rao to finish up against Nettles and be done with this game. So the pitch from Rao to Nettles, Chambliss will be held at second base by the shortstop, Bill Russell. That is a 3 and a 10. 3 and a 10 against the left-handed pitcher is a fly ball to left field. That's an F7 for the first out. And Chambliss will stay on second. Bucky Dent is up, right-handed batter. And I am going to make a pitching change. I'm going to bring in the right-hander Mike Garman for Doug Rao. So that's it for Doug Rao. Mike Garman does come into the game. He'll try to finish off the Yankees in the top of the 6th. So Rao gives up 7 hits, 4 runs, all of which are earned, 1 walk with 3 strikeouts. Garman comes in having pitched in the second game of the series, facing Dent. Chambliss will be held at second base. And that is a 1, so there's a potential wild pitch. The wild pitch number for Garman, however, is 0, so that does not occur. And we'll go ahead and re-roll the 3 6-sided dice again. That's a 2 and a 3. Against a right-handed pitcher. A 2 and a 3 is a ballpark effect single. And a ballpark effect single is a 1 or a 2. And that is an out. And so that is a line out to the shortstop for the second out of the inning. So Dent is retired on the line out to Russell. And we have Ron Guidry up. Guidry is pitching really well through the game. I'd like to keep him in there as long as I can. Give that Yankees bullpen a rest. So here's Guidry. Chambliss is not being held. The infield is pulling back, however. And that is a 3 and a 2 and a pop out to the shortstop. So after 5.5, it's the Yankees 4 and the Dodgers 3. So Ron Guidry remains in the game. Top of the order with Davey Lopes. Lopes is 1 for 2 in today's game. He did have a stolen base and scored in the second inning, or the third inning, excuse me. So the pitch to Lopes, that's a 4 and a 7 against a right-handed batter. 4 and a 7 is a strikeout. So that is the 5th strikeout on the day for Guidry. Shortstop Bill Russell is up next. Russell is 1 for 1 with a sacrifice in the third inning. That's a 4 and a 2 against a right-handed batter. 4 and a 2 is a ground ball, shortstop A. So dent to Chambliss to retire Bill Russell. The switch hitting left fielder or center fielder Reggie Smith is up next. Smith is 0 for 2 today, flyouts in the outfield in both of his previous plate appearances. And the pitch, it's a 1 and an 8 against a right-handed batter. A 1 and an 8 is a walk. So Smith gets a 2-out walk. That's the first walk issued by Guidry. So 1 aboard with 2 down for the right-handed batting third baseman Ron Cey. Infield is back, looking to make the defensive play. That's a 3 and a 7 against a left-handed pitcher, and that's another walk. So Guidry had gone 5 innings without issuing a walk, and now he issues back-to-back walks to Smith and Cey. Mound visit by Thurman Munson, exchanging pleasantries, and looks like Munson is called in the third baseman to the conversation as well. So might be looking to try to keep that ball in the infield here. We'll see what happens. So Smith's on second, infield is back, Garvey's at the plate, mound visit's concluded. The pitch from Guidry, that's a 1 and a 10. 1 and a 10 against a right-handed pitcher is a home run, ballpark effect. Doggone it. So that is a home run on a 1 through 11. And that has a possibility of being caught on the wall. So that was an 11. And I said that we're going to see where the ball was hit. So we're going to go to the outfielder robbing a home run. So it was the last number in the home run range. It's a right-handed batter. So that was hit to the left fielder. So our left fielder is Lou Piniella, who has a fielding rating of 3. So his rating is 3. So it's a home run on a 1 through 11. Otherwise it's a fly out. So the roll, and that's a home run. So Garvey gets a 3-run home run that just clears the wall in left field to give the Dodgers a 2-run lead. So that's the third home run of the series by Garvey. Picks up 3 RBIs. And the Dodgers have a 6-4 lead. With 2 outs, the Dodgers strike again. They had a 5-run inning the other day with 2 outs. Just timely hitting is really separating the Yankees from the Dodgers in this series. It's really incredible how the timeliness of the Dodgers hits have taken place. So Guidry gives up that home run. Martin's going to keep him in the game. He is going to get the Yankees bullpen going though. That's a 3 and a 6 against a right-handed batter, or excuse me, left-handed pitcher. 3 and a 6 is a walk. Lee Lacy is up. It's a 3 and a 10. 3 and a 10 against a left-handed pitcher is a foul out to the catcher. So a highly productive 6th inning by the Dodgers result in a 6-4 Dodgers lead off the Garvey home run. And at the end of 6, it's the Dodgers 6, the Yankees 4. Top of the 7th, Dodgers leading 6-4. Mike Garman, Dodger relief pitcher, remains in the game. Rivers is the batter at the plate. Yankees looking to try to take the lead again. This has been a seesaw affair this afternoon. Interesting game for sure. So the pitch from Garvey is a 2 and a 3 against the left-handed pitcher. 2 and a 3 is a ground ball first base. So Rivers is out. That's the first time that Rivers has made an out today. He had been 3 for 3 prior to his most recent at bat. Willie Randolph is up next. It's a 6 and a 6 against a right-handed batter. 6 and a 6 is a single, 1 to 12. Ground ball, first base B, 13 to 20. That's a 19. So that's a put out, 3 to 1 for the second out of the inning. And then we have Thurman Munson up. That's a 2 and a 12. Against a right-handed pitcher is a walk. So Munson picks up a 2-out walk. Let's see if some of that Dodger magic with 2 outs can transcend to the Yankees. Got Mr. October Reggie Jackson up next. Righty-lefty matchup. Al Downing, left-handed pitcher, is available in the Dodgers bullpen if needed. There's a 1 and a 6. 1 and a 6 against a right-handed pitcher is another walk. So we have Munson and Jackson aboard. Back-to-back walks issued. Just for those of you keeping score at home, Garvey did reach his vulnerability with the first out of the 7th inning, and so keep that in mind as we go here. So we've got Munson at second, Jackson at first. We got the right-handed hitting Lou Piniella up next. So the go-ahead run is at the plate, 1 out. Infield is back, looking to turn a double play if possible. So that is a 6 and a 7. 6 and a 7 against a right-handed batter is a ground ball, second base X. That's hit to the Dodgers second baseman Davey Lopes. There's a 319. The runner was not being held. So rolling the dice. That is a 6 and a 7. So a 6 is a G3 hashtag. We'll ignore the hashtag because the defense was playing back and the runner was not held. And second base, a 19 and a 7. Results in no effect, so it's a G3. We've got runners on first and second. That's a runner's advance. So batters out, all runners advance 1 base. So that's a 4-3 put out for the last out of the inning. So the Yankees try to make a comeback. They leave 2 stranded at the end of 6.5. It's a Dodgers 6 and the Yankees 4. The Yankees did get their bullpen activated at the beginning of the 6th inning. Dick Tidrow, right-handed relief pitcher, and Ken Holtzman, lefty relief pitcher, were warming up. So Guidry is done for the day. Guidry had pitched really well up until that 6th inning. The line on Guidry, 6 innings pitched, 4 hits allowed, 6 runs, 5 of which were earned, 3 walks, and 5 strikeouts. So the day is over for Guidry. And it looks like Lasorda is going to bring in the right-handed, Martin's going to bring in the right-handed pitching Tidrow. So Tidrow makes his appearance. So we've got the right-handed Tidrow starting out against the right-hander Yeager. Dodgers have a 2-run lead. The pitch is a 6 and a 7 against a right-handed batter. 6 and a 7 is a ground ball, second base X. So Randolph has an opportunity to make the play. Randolph is a 218. Sorry guys, keep getting my cards. So that's a 6 and a 10. A 2 and a 6 is a G2 hash. We ignore the hash. And then we have a 6 and a 10. It's no effect, so that's a ground out 4-3. So Yeager's retired for the first out of the inning. We've got the pitcher Mike Garman up next. Garman is going to be lifted. So Garman is finished, and we're going to get a pinch hitter for him. Against the righty, we're going to be bringing in a lefty. That lefty is going to be utility outfielder John Hale. Hale will be making his first World Series appearance. Pitch hitting for Doug Rao, or excuse me, pinch hitting for Mike Garman. We'll get to the line on Garman here shortly. We have one out. Right-handed pitcher Tidrow delivering to the lefty Hale. That's a 6 and a 5. And that is a ground ball, shortstop X. So opportunity for Dent to make the play. 2 and a 20. That's a 5 and a 4. A 2 and a 5 is a G3 hash. We ignore the hash. And then shortstop 20. Roll was a 4. So Dent is going to boot that. E1 was the rating. So error, batter to first runners, or excuse me, G3. E1, batter to first runners advance 1 base. So Hale's aboard on the error by Dent. Decent runner, Hale is. I'm going to keep him at first though. We're at the top of the order for the Dodgers. So we'll see if Lopes is able to bring him around. So Lopes is up. Infield's playing back, hoping for the double play ball. That's a 2 and an 8. 2 and an 8 against a right-handed pitcher is a strikeout. Second out of the inning. We have the shortstop Bill Russell up next. Russell is 0 for 2 with the sacrifice flyout in the 3rd inning. Picked up an RBI on that. So infield will be playing back. 2 outs in the pitch. That's a 4 and a 7 against a right-handed batter, and that is a strikeout. So Tidrow is able to get 2 strikeouts to finish out the 7th inning, and after that error by Dent, the Dodgers are retired. So after 7, it's the Dodgers 6 and the Yankees 4. Top of the 8th, Dodgers leading 6-4. Dodgers have made a pitching change. Al Downing is now in the game pitching for the Dodgers. He's a left-handed hurler. Pretty typical pitcher card numbers. 351 for his fielding error ratings. A balk of 0. He does have a wild pitch of 9 or less. What's interesting about Downing is his hold number is a +9. So that'll make the stolen base opportunities for the Yankees maybe a little bit more palpable here, as long as Downing's on the hill. So he is facing Chris Chambliss. Chambliss is 2 for 3 today with 2 doubles. And so Chambliss is looking to get the Yankees started. 2-run deficit to overcome. We'll see if they can do it. Say 5 and a 7. Against the left-handed batter is a walk. So just like that, Chambliss is on the mound. The Dodgers do have Elias Sosa up, warming up in their bullpen. He is a right-handed pitcher. He pitched in Game 3. So Lasorda would rather not use him if he didn't have to, but he can be called on if needed. So Chambliss is on first. Very limited stealing opportunities here for Chambliss. He gets a good lead on a roll of a 2. Should he get that good lead, however, he has a base stealing of 20. So I'm just going to look at this real quick. You've got the +9 for Downing, a -3 for Yeager's arm, so that's a +6. The most modifier you can have on a pitcher-catcher combo is a +5. So that would bring it to an 11. 6 + 5 is an 11, but a -4 for a bad lead if he doesn't get that good lead would bring it down to 7. So I'm going to leave Chambliss at first, but I do think I'm going to look for a pinch runner for Chambliss. So let me just look at my cards real quick here. Looking for someone who's got speed and could possibly do something with that stolen base calculation that I had brought up. We also are going to need a first baseman. So just looking through my cards here, Dave Kingman, I think, would be an interesting one here. He's got a good running rating, not so much stealing wise, but he can play first base. Kingman hasn't played so far in the series, and not too many options here for the Yankees. Let's take a look. I'm going to bring in Del Alston to pinch run for Chambliss. Actually, Roy White might be a good option too. I'm going to bring in Del Alston. I like White from a standpoint of an option as a pinch hitter because he's a switch hitter and he's performed well earlier in this series for the Yankees. So we're going to go with Del Alston as a pinch runner for Chambliss. So Chambliss gets to first on the walk. Alston comes in as a pinch runner. Looking to get into scoring position with Alston. We've got the third baseman Greg Nettles up next. Let's take a look at the stealing opportunities. 2 through 8 and an 11 is a good lead. 9, 10, or 12 is Alston being picked off of first. So I'm going to try to get Alston over on a stolen base. So Downing would hold Alston. So he's being held. So I need a 2 through 8 or an 11 for a good lead. A 9, 10, or 12 means that Alston's been picked off. And that is a 7. So that is a good lead for Alston. So he was able to take advantage of that 15. And we already established that the modifier was +5 for the pitcher-catcher combo, Yeager and Downing. So that's 20, and then -2 for the good lead. So on an 18 or less, Alston is able to steal second base. and that is a 9. So Alston still second base. So nice to see that pay off. So Alston is in scoring position. So Nettles at the plate. Alston is going to be held. Nettles is up. Alston's being held by the shortstop, Bill Russell. So that is a 1 and a 7 against a left-handed pitcher. A 1 and a 7 is a single, 1 through 11, with 1 star, or a line out to first base, 12 through 20. And that is a 1. So Nettles gets a single. And that puts Alston on third with no outs. So Alston to third, Nettles to first. That's Nettles' second hit of the ball game. And so we have the right-handed hitting Bucky Dent up next. So runners on first and third. Looking here to see what we might want to do. Really want to try to avoid that double play if at all possible. Don't really want to send him. He's not going to get a good lead without a roll of a 4 or 5, plus there's an out opportunity 9 through 12. So we're going to let Dent swing away, hoping that he can stay out of the double play. The Dodgers are playing back, so they're looking to turn that double play if they can. So it's a 6 and a 6 against a right-handed batter. A 6 and a 6 is a walk. So Dent walks. So the bases are loaded. Got Nettles to second. Dent to first. We have the pitcher. Forgot who the Yankees pitcher was. Tidrow, I believe. Tidrow, he's a C bunter. My options for relief pitchers are a little bit light. I want to try to stay away from using my closers back to back 2 games so they don't become, so they're available for that third game without becoming fatigued. So we've got Tidrow at the plate. He's a C bunter. He uses the number 1 pitching card. So I'm going to have him bunt. So corners will be in. Bases are loaded. Corners are in. The situation is such that it will be a squeeze bunt. I'm going to do a safety squeeze. So we're calling a safety squeeze. My rating is a C, which will go to D because corners are in. So let's see what happens here. All in an effort to get to that top of the lineup, maybe with a run scored. So that's a 5 I rolled on this dice. That's a 12, that doesn't matter. And I rolled a 5. So a 5 and a 5 on our squeeze chart on a D bunt. So a 5 is the first baseman. And then a 5 on a D is a bad bunt. See description on sacrifice bunt chart. Batter lays down a bad bunt. Lead runner is thrown out by the fielder. So that's a out 3 to 2. So that's the first out. Garvey goes home. Yeager's able to tap home plate for the first out of the inning. So Chambliss is down. The runners will advance. So bases remain loaded. Mickey Rivers is up. Rivers is 3 for 4 today. Three for 4, bases loaded, 1 out. And we're going to swing away. Come on, Rivers. So that's a 1. That is a potential wild pitch. Alright, so we'll ignore these 3 dice. Downing happens to have a wild pitch rating of 9. So on a 9 or less, a wild pitch occurs and Nettles will score. That's a 15. So there's no wild pitch. We'll re-roll the 3 dice with bases loaded, 1 out. Infield is playing back. And then it's a 3 and an 11 against a left-handed pitcher. 3 and an 11 is a ground ball, shortstop B. So nobody was being held. Ground ball, shortstop B with the bases loaded results in a 4. Batter safe, runner at first going out to second on a force play, runners advance. So Rivers gets into a fielder's choice. He's able to get the first. He picks up an RBI. Nettles will score. So Nettles scores. Dent go to third. And runner on first is out going to second. So Tidrow is out. Rivers is on first. Right, I think that's good. So we've got 2 out, or let's see here, we've got Chambliss also was out. We've got 2 outs now. Runner scored. We have a runner on first and a runner on third, and Downing on the mound. So I'm going to, and Willie Randolph on deck. So I'm going to try to steal with Rivers. It's just going to be a straight steal of second base. So I'm going to do the calculation here. So a 3 through 8, he's got a good lead. It's a +5. The -2 would be an 18. Otherwise, with a bad lead, it would be a 12. So we're going to roll for the good lead. That's a 5. So Rivers does indeed get the good lead. So that's 15 plus 3 is an 18. So an 18 or less, Rivers steals second base. Now, one thing I do have as a consideration here is Yeager's arm. So if I roll a 1, 2, or 3 on this dice, Rivers will steal second, but it's possible that Yeager is going to have a throwing error because he's got an arm rating of 1 through 18. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to let Rivers steal. I will not throw the ball to second. I don't want to risk an overthrow. So Rivers will steal second. And that puts runners on second and third for Willie Randolph with 2 outs. All right. So Downing to Randolph. That's a 2. Oh, I forgot to roll this dice. So I'm gonna roll this again. So that's a 2. A 1 through 3 is a potential balk. A 4 through 6 is a pass ball. That's a pass ball opportunity. So Yeager has a pass ball on a 2 or a less, and that is a 19. So there's no pass ball. So I'm going to re-roll these 3 dice. Defense is playing back. 2 down. And the pitch, a 6 and a 7 against a right-handed batter. 6 and a 7 is a single to left field. So Randolph delivers. He gets a single. He gets an RBI. Dent is going to score. Rivers will go to third. Randolph is at first. And let's take a look here. There is a possibility that Rivers can advance. So our left fielder is Dusty Baker. I did not write down Baker's arm. So Baker's a -2. All right. So let's do a calculation here. So we had a single, no stars. Situation was runners on, was runners on second and third. Runner on third scores, so the lead runner is the second guy on second, so that would have been Rivers. So that's A plus B plus D and an asterisk. So it's running speed plus outfielder's arm. So that's a 17. We said that Baker had an arm of -2, so that's 17 minus 2 for a 15. And then we had 2 outs, so we're going to add 2. So we're back to 17. And then we go a D. If runner was held, subtract 1. If not, add 1. The runners were not held. So that puts us to 18. And then we have an asterisk. If the next base is occupied, runner can't be held. In that case, apply roll D upon the runner. Okay, so that does not matter. So our calculation for Rivers to score from third is an 18 or less. If I try to get Rivers out at the plate, that means Randolph will automatically go to second. In both situations, these are good runners. That will bring the tying run in place, but it'll keep Rivers at first for Thurman Munson. So, yeah, you know what? I'm going to let it rip. So I'm going to try to get Rivers out on an 18. Well, think about this for a second. It's almost impossible to get Rivers. I could hold Randolph at first. Nope, we're going to try to get the out at home and avoid that tying run. So an 18 or less, Rivers is safe. And that is an 18. Oh my gosh. Just by the skin of his teeth, Rivers is able to score and is safe at home. However, I think there's a blocking the plate rule here. Let's take a look. I think there is. Let's see if we can find it. I don't honestly think I've ever had a blocking the plate rule come into effect. So let's check it out. I know it's here. Sorry guys, I know this is turning into a long inning, but this is really exciting. There's some pretty cool stuff going on here. Catcher blocking the plate. This rule was added in 2000. Whenever there is a play at the plate, the catcher's defensive ability may be challenged. The rule comes into play when you're rolling the 20-sided die to determine if the runner is safe or out at home. If the last number in the safe range or the first number in the out range is selected, then the catcher's ability will be checked with another roll of 20-sided dice. So very similar to what we did with the home run rule is this catcher blocking the plate rule. So Yeager's catcher's rating is a 2, or excuse me, is a 1. All right, so shoot, Rivers is going to be safe on a roll of 1 to 2. He'll be out on a 3 through 20, and that's an 8. So Rivers is thrown out at the plate. Tremendous block by Yeager, and the Yankees are out in the top of the 8th inning. Darn it. All right, bottom of the 8th. It's the Dodgers 6 and the Yankees 5. Boy, I tell you, this game's had a little bit of everything. Been pretty exciting to play. Hope there's folks out there watching this and who are enjoying it. If you are, please hit the like and the subscribe button. So, just an update on some bullpen activity. Both Sparky Lyle and Ken Clay are up and warming up for the Yankees. In the Dodgers bullpen, Sosa took a seat. We've got Lance Routzen, the lefty, and Charlie Huff, the righty, warming up in the Dodgers bullpen as well. They'll be available should the need arise here to close out the 9th. So we have Tidrow still on the mound. Tidrow had a good 7th inning, despite the Bucky Dent error. And so we've got Smith up at the plate, switch hitter. He'll be going from the left side here. Again, it's a 6-5 Dodgers lead. That's a 1 and a 4 against a right-handed pitcher, and that is a walk. So Smith is able to get on base with a walk. You know, one of the things that I've kind of run into a challenge, and I think we saw it with Guidry earlier, was the fact that pitchers' power, or their vulnerability inning, doesn't quite yet occur. They don't, have anything else that would cause them by the rules to be yanked from the game, but it feels wrong to let that pitcher continue to pitch given what was unfolding around them. So in the case of Guidry earlier, he had not hit his POW inning, and he hadn't given up enough hits or walks to be pulled because he was shaken as a starter, and so technically within the rules I was able to keep him in the game, but it didn't feel right given how the inning was imploding around him. So it's an interesting balance between the two. I'm cognizant of the rules around it, maybe more so than the feel of what's going on with the pitcher at that time. But then there's a part of me who's like, Game 4 of the World Series, you just gave up 3 runs, you're getting yanked. So interesting balance there. Just wanted to add that as a perspective for something to think about as you're watching this game. So we have Smith at first. Say is up. Say is 0 for 2 today with a walk in the 6th. We're going to keep Smith at first. We're not going to steal with him, however, we are going to hold him. And so it's the second baseman and the first baseman holding Say on first. So here we go. That's a 5 and an 8 against a right-handed hitter. That's a fly ball, right field B. So we have 1 down on the out to Reggie Jackson. And Smith stays put. Garvey's up next. Again, Smith is being held. First and second base committed with that. The pitch to Garvey is a 6 and a 7. Against a right-handed batter is a ground ball, second base X. Alright, so here we go. So a ground ball, second base X with the runner being held. So Randolph is holding, helping hold Smith at first. So we're going to need to add 1 to the fielding range of the infielder holding the runner. Alright, so that's the first part of this. And so Randolph's range is a 2, so it's going to be moved to a 3. And then his error rating is 18. So that's the first part. We'll see what we roll here. That's a 14 and an 11. So a 14 and an 11. Alright, so that is a 3 and an 18. I rolled a 14 and an 11. So that's a G2, so there's no hash, so no more penalties with holding the runner. And then an 18 on the second baseman. And I rolled an 11, so there's no errors. So it's a straight G2. So we had a runner at first, so we have a force play. So the batter's safe, Smith is out, going to second. So we have a fielder's choice situation. So Garvey is on first, there's 2 outs. And we have Dusty Baker at the plate. Baker hit a home run in the second inning to get the game going for the Dodgers. Struck out and walked in his last 2 plate appearances. So we have 2 outs. Garvey's at first. And infield is playing back. That is a 6 and a 4 against a right-handed batter. A 6 and a 4 is a ground ball, shortstop X. The infield was back, so Dent is going to get a chance to play this. That is a 2 and a 20. Our roll is a 17 and a 9. So a 2, that's a 17 is a G1, and then a 20, and a 9 results in no errors, and that is a 6-3 put out for the third out of the inning. So the Dodgers leave 1 at the end of 8. It's the Dodgers 6 and the Yankees 5. So the Dodgers are going to make a pitching change. Al Downing, who pitched the 8th for the Dodgers, is going to be relieved. Charlie Huff, the knuckleballer throwing from the right side, is going to enter the game. Huff had pitched previously in Game 3, so he is on the mound again without any rest in between. Could compromise him for Game 5. So Huff's on the mound against Thurman Munson. The line on Downing is this: 1 inning pitched, 1 base hit, 1 run scored, which was earned, and 2 base on balls. So Huff's on the mound. The Yankees are trailing 6-5. Munson's looking to get going here. And the pitch is a 4 and a 2. 4 and a 2 is a ground ball, third base A. So Munson grounds out for the first out of the inning. Huff is facing 2 righties and Jackson as a lefty here in the first 3 that he's facing of the New York Yankees. We've got, wrong guy here. So we got righty Jackson up next. Yankees sure would appreciate a solo home run at this point. That's a 6 and a 7 against the lefty, and that's a ground ball, second base, X. So the play is going to be on Davey Lopes. He's a 319. We're going to roll. That's a 12 and a 5, so we're going to have a random play here. So a 12 is going to be a G2. And then our random play, so that's a G2 random play. Batter lines a shot that deflects off the pitcher to the fielder, who makes the play to first for the out. Runners advance if forced. So the ball deflects off of Huff. Lopes picks it up and throws it to Garvey for the second out. Score that 4-3. Trainers check on Huff and he would appear okay. So the right-handed hitting left fielder Lou Piniella is up next. Yankees really need a miracle at this point. That's a 1 and a 6 against a right-handed pitcher. And look at that. Speak of miracles. We have a ballpark effect home run opportunity. So that is a home run for Lou Piniella on a roll of 1 through 11. So here we go. That's a 5. The miracle does happen. Piniella ties the game with a 2-out home run, and the score is 6-6. Wow. Very cool. Yankees have Dave Kingman up next. Kingman came into the game for Chambliss when he was pinch run for in the 8th inning. Here's our roll. That's a 5 and a 7 against a right-handed batter. That's a double 1-3 or a single 4-20. So that's a single. So Kingman is on base with a single. Second hit of the inning allowed by Huff. So Kingman's on first. The infield's going to play back. They're looking to get that final out. We've got the third baseman Greg Nettles up next. Tie game 6-6. And the pitch is a 3. No random event. A 1 and a 4 against a right-handed pitcher. A 1 and a 4 is a home run. Oh my gosh. So that would be a run, a hit, 2 RBIs. So Nettles gives the Yanks a 8-6 lead in the top of the 9th. Oh my gosh. Huff can only stare out into the bleachers after that. He can't believe what he's walked into. It's just a buzzsaw. He needs one more out to get out of the inning, and he's going to pitch to Dent. So here we go. That's a 2 and a 6 against a right-handed pitcher. That's a double, 1-7, a fly ball to center field, 8-20. And that's a fly ball to center field. So that's scored an F8. So just like that, the Yankees get 2 in the top of the 9th and take a 8-6 lead. Excuse me, 3 in the top of the 9th. All right, bottom of the 9th. The Yankees have an 8-6 lead. Pitching change for the Yankees. Martin's brought in the American League Cy Young winner in 1977, Sparky Lyle. Lefty. Awesome numbers. A little bit below average fielding at a 4.21. 0 balk opportunity, however, wild pitch on a 17 or less. But I guess if there's a guy that you want closing out the game in 1977, Sparky Lyle is that man. So Lyle's going to face Lee Lacy, first Dodgers batter of the bottom of the 9th. And the roll is a 1 and a 9 against a left-handed pitcher. And that's a home run, 1-14, a double, 15-20. That's a home run. Lee Lacy, leadoff home run. And just like that, the Dodgers are within 1. So I don't think anyone expected Lyle to come into the game and give up a leadoff home run, but that's how the dice fall sometimes. Ken Clay is warmed up and ready to go in the Yankees bullpen. So we have the right-handed hitting Steve Yeager up next. That is a 1 and a 6 against the left-handed pitcher, and that is a strikeout. So 1 down. Huff is going to be lifted, and we're going to get a pinch hitter here. That pinch hitter is going to be the right-handed hitting Glenn Burke. So Burke comes in as a pinch hitter for Huff. Should Burke get on base, he's got very good speed. So we'll see what happens here. So Yeager is down, Burke is up, and then we have the top of the order with Davey Lopes. So here we go. That's a 6 and a 5. A 6 and a 5 against a right-handed batter is a ground ball, third base B. So a ground out, 5-3 for the second out of the inning. So the move to bring Burke in didn't pay off. Burke was unable to get on base and records the second out. So we have 2 outs. We have Davey Lopes up. Lopes struck out his previous 2 at-bats and did get a single in the third inning with a stolen base. So lefty-righty matchup here. The Yankees faithful are holding their breath. And the pitch is a 5 and a 7 against a right-handed batter, and that is a strikeout. So Lyle comes in, gives up a leadoff home run to Lee Lacy, and then shuts down the next 3 Dodgers batters, 2 of which were strikeouts, to help seal and save the win for the New York Yankees. So game 4 is an exciting one. The series is tied 2-2, and the Yankees prevail with an 8-7 win over the Los Angeles Dodgers. Thank you for watching.